Welcome to the Lost Plane channel. Today we lost plane cybercrime. The FBI Crime Report 2021 states that Americans lost $7 billion to business email compromises in 2021. I, Special Agent of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, swear this affidavit on 2nd August 2019 that probable cause exists to believe that the suspect participated in violations of the United States Code Section 1030 and 1349 with others to conduct computer fraud and fraudulent wire transfers. I believe that a warrant of arrest needs to be issued for the suspect to be brought to justice. This is a story of how social media helped the Federal Bureau of Investigation bring down a Forbes-listed Nigerian fraudster. Obi-Wane Okeke was born on 9th November 1987. He appeared on the cover of Forbes' 2016 issue for 30 Under 30, Most Influential Business People. He lived a luxury lifestyle, posting exotic cars and travel destinations on his social media. Ultimately, his need for social validation handed him a 10-year prison sentence. It all started on 1st April 2018 when the CFO for Unitrack Holdings Limited received a phishing email that contained a web link to a spoofed Microsoft Office 365 login page that required his login credentials. Believing it to be true, the CFO entered his login credentials and Mr. Obi now had full access to his account. Obi-Wane now had access to the CFO's Microsoft Office 365 account, in which he was able to browse the CFO's files, which are hosted by OneDrive. These files included his tax filings, travel schedules, Unitrack standard terms and conditions of terms of sale, Unitrack logos, and pre-formatted invoice templates. Obi-Wane used the pre-formatted invoices to impersonate the CEO and issue fraudulent invoice to Unitrack's finance team. He used email filter rules to hide from the CEO any responses from individuals from the finance team to whom he had sent the fabricated emails. The finance team, believing the email to be true and from the CEO, wired about $11 million that all went to an overseas account. The overseas account belonged to Obi-Wane Okeke. By the time the CFO discovered the fraudulent act, it was too late. The money was already transferred. Obi-Wane Okeke sent all confidential information he had from the compromised CFO's email to his external email address, iconoclast@gmail.com. The CFO alerted authorities, and the fraud was now under the FBI radar, and they conducted open-source WHOIS queries for the email iconoclast@gmail.com and found it was listed as a registrant for several internet domains which were involved in cyber squatting. On November 7, 2018, the FBI issued federal search warrants to Google pertaining to the email iconoclast@gmail.com. The account was involved in fraudulent schemes, computer intrusion, trafficking, stolen identities, passwords, and conspiracies to obtain money through fraudulent wire transfers. Information acquired from Google revealed the true identity behind the email iconoclast1960@gmail.com. The information from Google provided a recovery email address that is alibabaob@gmail.com, which names several accounts which are linked to the iconoclast1960@gmail.com, which indicates a likelihood that they were operated by the same person. One of these linked accounts was obiwane@gmail.com. The FBI conducted open-source web searches for obiwane@gmail.com and found reference of that account on an online forum hosted by nairaland.com. A nairaland.com user named Invictus Obi had listed obiwane@gmail.com as his contact address. The FBI searched the nairaland.com profile page for Invictus Obi and found it listed a Twitter username of @InvictusObi. This led the FBI to Obi-Wane's Twitter page, which identified the user as Obi-Wane Okeke and associated him with a company called Invictus Group. This further led to the FBI investigating Obi-Wane's Instagram page, in which he went by Invictus Oboy. The FBI viewed his Instagram page and found posts of his exotic travels around the world. The FBI reviewed IP session logs provided by Google and found out that on several occasions the email iconoclast@gmail.com was accessed from Obi-Wane's location. For instance, on March 31, 2018, Obiwane posted an IG picture of himself from Seychelles. On the same date, Google Logs showed a login to the email iconoclast@1960@gmail.com from the IP address which is located in Seychelles. This further correlated the investigations done by the FBI. On December 21, 2018, the FBI issued federal search warrants to Google and Apple for Obiwane's email accounts. The warrants proved that obiwane@gmail.com, alibabaobi@gmail.com, and @victorsobi@icloud.com were all accounts owned by Obiwane Okeke. With all the evidence the FBI had on Obiwane Okeke, an arrest warrant was issued while he was still in the United States of America. A criminal complaint was instituted on August 2, 2019 against Obiwane Okeke at the United States District Court for Eastern Virginia for the following offenses: conspiracy to commit computer fraud, contrary to Section 1030 of the United States Code, and conspiracy to commit wire fraud, contrary to Section 1349 of the United States Code. Currently, Obiwane Okeke is serving a 10-year sentence with a release date on 3rd September 2028, according to the Federal Bureau of Prisons.